Mr. Schneeberger, the ESOT 2013 is up and running with a completely new system, an ecosystem, which is pretty much paperless. What made you do a paperless Congress?
I think that kind of dates back to the very beginning of the conference when we asked ourselves the question, what is a medical conference for? Why do people even come to a medical conference and what do they expect? So the digital platform wasn't the beginning of the thought process, but when we reconsidered what people would come here for, what they would expect, and then reflected on the technology available to enhance this experience, we realized that a tablet computer together with a powerful application would be probably the best way to support a conference and enhance the experience for the delegates, but also the organizers and importantly our corporate partners.
Right. So taking a look at this iPad app we've got here, you've got practically everything that you need, a whole lot of information, everything which eventually might have had to be printed out, right?
That is true. So we prevented, fair to say, millions of pages to be printed. And as you said, I think what we tried to do is capture everything in the one application system. So for a couple of days, the idea is to bring everybody in this world within the application. And it is kind of what is happening. So if you look at how people are communicating for just these couple of days, they forget about email accounts. Instead, they use the communication system within the application. So that's a nice thing to see that this is actually working, that they live within our world for a couple of days.
So I'm not too familiar in the Congress business, so I've got to ask you, is this like a totally new system, or did you have any patterns that you had in mind and just expanded them to a certain extent, or is this really sort of like a brand new system that you've made up?
No, it's not brand new. So digital systems for conferences have been used before many times. However, we felt they're not sufficient to do what we intended to do. So we worked with a company and we built on a bespoke application, so pre-existing framework for an application, and then started building further on this and implementing the ideas that we had, as I said previously, to enhance this experience. So it was a lot of work going into this to make it what we wanted it to be. So not entirely new, but I think the experience and the size of what we can deliver today is kind of new.
Talking about the experience, how did the attendees react when they got an iPad in their hands instead of pieces and tons of paper? What was their first reaction? Did you have any chance to notice this somewhere downstairs?
So I kind of watched the people when they got the iPad, when they started using the app, and it seemed there were, kind of question marks floating around people's heads. But immediately they seemed to adjust to the system, to start working with it. And I believe that it is intuitive enough for people to get rid of it very quickly. So that they have started using it in a kind of a natural fashion. And just going by the appearance in people's faces, it seems that they are quite satisfied with what they see.
So did you get any direct feedback as well? Like I say, this is amazing, this is good, this is not so good?
We had a lot of feedback, and the feedback that I get is mostly positive. I wonder if those who don't like it would give me their feedback, but we do monitor very closely how people are using this application. So we basically monitor every click. So that helps us understand how do people use this device. Are they even? You can even learn from this. Are they frustrated if they hit button many times or something? So by monitoring how every individual here is using the device, we can later go back and say, okay, this is what worked really well, and this is how it could be further improved.
Well, thank you very much indeed. Thanks a lot.
You're most welcome.